Some may call me crazy, but I took my entire 401k, emptied it out completely, paid the taxes and penalties to make it happen because I saw a much better investment opportunity. And today I want to break down exactly why I cashed out on that, took the punch in the gut on those taxes and penalties to make other investments. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, real estate investor and entrepreneur with over 10 years experience building and growing a real estate team and investing in real estate. Before we get into today's video, please take a moment, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I'm here to help you break out of the 9-to-5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. I said it, I did it. I actually took all the money out of my 401k that was sitting there and I cashed it all out to invest in real estate. I saw that there was up to 6 times more potential with my money in real estate over a 401k. And that means it's actually less money out of my pocket as I wasn't contributing monthly to the 401k account. And I get to take that money, invest it in real estate to create passive income and multiply my money at the very end of that period so that I could see more than a 6x return. Today, I want to break down the math for you, show you why I think it makes sense. The choice is yours. I chose to do it. I made the leap and I couldn't be happier. Let's break it all down. Let's take a look at the numbers, how it all shakes out. And I think you'll agree with me that a 401k is a nice, safe place to put your money. And it will absolutely set you up for an okay retirement going forward. So I'm not here to say a 401k is a bad investment. It is great. If you have a company sponsored 401k and they will match your contributions, that's great. That's free money that they're putting into a retirement account for you. However, I just don't feel it's going to grow fast enough for you to achieve what you're wanting to achieve with your finances, especially if you've been watching this channel for a while. I know you want to multiply that as much as possible and give yourself that financial freedom, which if you stick with 401k is simply not gonna come for another 20, 30 years until you officially retire and start to draw on that money. So let's break it all down. I took my 401k recently. I had $125,000 in that account from a previous pharmaceutical job that I worked in. That money was sitting there and sure, it was growing over time, but I decided to cash all of that out to make an investment purchase. And here's the math. Let's assume that you currently have the exact same balance in your 401k, $125,000. Let's also assume that you currently have a W-2 job that makes you $100,000 a year and that you contribute 10% and your employer contributes 10% to your retirement account. And let's assume you've got 30 years left in your working career until you're going to tap into that money. The math works out there. If you let that happen and it grows at the expected 8 to 10% return that you can see within your 401k, you will have $4.7 million at the end of that term. That is a great amount of money. Just like I said, I'm not here to slam and say 401k is not worth it. $4.7 million off of $10,000 a year of your own contribution is great money over a 30-year period. So 4.7 million, what I want you to think about, and I've told you on this channel, I am here to challenge your thinking. What we have to think about is 4.7 million sounds like a lot of money right now, and it is, but we have to remind ourselves of inflation of 3% a year. That is a banner year of inflation for the United States. So 30 years from now, we're talking 3% a year appreciation. We're talking things are gonna be 90% more expensive than they were today when you have that $4.7 million in your bank account. So that technically means you can slash that in half, and now we're talking $2.5 million, which still isn't bad for today, and it's something you could totally live off of, but that's essentially what it would be worth to you in the long run. So I did all of that math, and then I compared it up against real estate investing and said, what could I do with this $125,000 right now to start setting myself up for a similar retirement plan, and what do those numbers look like? So now I want to break down exactly what you could do with that money and what that would look like for 30 years from now. I'm sure it's going to blow your mind, so let's break down those numbers. So now let's take into account, you've got $125,000. Obviously you pay some penalties and taxes along the way, but you can now go out and buy, with a 20 to 25% down payment, a $500,000 rental property. Depends on what part of the country you're in, but that works for most parts of the country to get you at least a basic starter home. And in some areas, that could actually help you afford 2 starter homes. But let's assume you buy one single family property for $500,000. Now we have to keep in mind that home prices on average in the United States appreciate 5% every single year. Yes, there are down years, but there are also greater up years, and that works out to a 30 to 40 year average of 5% a year. So every 5 years, your real estate investment is going to appreciate 25%. What is the down payment amount that is required for a new home purchase, for an investment home purchase? 25%. That now means that when you buy your first investment property, 5 years from now, you will have enough equity to pull out of that house and go buy a second rental property. And then both of those rental properties appreciate by 5% a year over the next 5 years. You've got 25% equity in both of those properties, and 5 years from when you did that initial second purchase, now you've got 2 homes that you can pull cash out of to go buy 2 more rental properties. And I'm sure you can see this stacking up here, that essentially every 5 years, you should be able to double the inventory of the homes that you have available with no additional cash out of your pocket. So that is something that you have to factor in here when we're looking at your 401k. If you're making $100K a year and you're contributing 10%, that means you're putting in 10 grand a year, or just a little shy of $1,000 a month. With this strategy in the real estate side, you're not putting that money forward. And along the way, you're actually also generating passive income from your real estate investing. So not only are you not drawing money out of your bank account, but you're actually increasing into your bank account, all while your portfolio grows almost on its own. And every 5 years, you get to double that inventory. So following this method, in 30 years, you will own 64 rental properties. For some of you watching this channel, you are probably going, that is way beyond anything I ever imagined I would be able to do. But I'm telling you, using the consistent investment strategy, pulling cash out and reinvesting that into new rental properties every 5 years, you can have 64 properties in the next 30 years. Now, along that way, in 30 years, you've actually collected over $2 million in rent during that period. That's half of what you would have earned just on the 401k side, and that was just along the journey, not counting for the appreciation factor. After all of that, those 64 homes, again accounting for all the appreciation and all of the refinancing you did, will have a total net equity of $29 million. $29 million in total net equity, $2 million in passive income created over that 30 years. We're talking $31 million in money that came to you off of $125,000 initial investment. Sure, there are going to be repairs along the way, things that you have to fix and maintain, and all of that. There will be expenses. It is nowhere near going to knock that number back down to the 4.7 million you would get from your 401k. So 4.7, 29 million net equity, 2 million in passive income. The choice seems pretty clear here that your real estate portfolio is going to outperform your 401k by over 6 times. It is well worth it to take the penalties, start using that to invest in real estate right now. I'm telling you, I've done it myself, and I now, just off of that single portfolio that I pulled out of with my 401k, with that, I already own 4 homes. And guess what? It was actually quicker than the 10 years I'm telling you it would initially take you to get there, because I rode the wave of equity and it got bigger faster than I expected. So I'm way further ahead on that plan, not to mention other rental properties that I'll be buying aside from that plan. But using that plan, I'll have 64 properties in probably the next 15 years. So this is a plan that can outperform your 401k. I cashed it out, I did it. I encourage you, do the math yourself, be convinced yourself, and see what you can do with that, because I promise you, you will never buy real estate and look back and go, I should not have done that. You will always come out ahead. If you buy it right and you buy smart, you will always come out ahead because of the appreciation factor. So I wanted to leave you that to think about. Think about it, run your own numbers, run your math. Reach out to me if you'd like to see my math. I have it all worked out in spreadsheets. I can show it to you. You'll still make passive income every time you pull out money for your rental portfolio. It's a great strategy, and I hope it gives you something to think about. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you really enjoyed it, share this with a friend to expand their thinking and expand their minds. As always, I'm here to help you break out of the 9 to 5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. See you next time.